As we wind down, we will be getting update from Osun State ahead of the governorship election, and we have on ground Deadly Trust Bureau Chief from Lagos, who is monitoring activities right there at the center of activity at the Osun State capital. Good morning, Mr. Biodun Alade.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show this morning.
We can hear honks from vehicles. It appears you are right neck deep into the activities leading to tomorrow's governorship election. Can you bring us up to speed with the level of preparedness among the major stakeholders ahead of tomorrow's election?
Okay, so for this election, we have 50 political parties that are participating. But just this morning, we heard that the candidate of the PRP have decided to pull out of the race, and the party said they are going to investigate him, that they don't know why he has decided to actually pull out. But so far, what we have from INEC is that 15 political parties are going to be participating. So, and from what we have gathered, as security operative on ground, INEC has been able to distribute all the sensitive materials, and they are set for the election by tomorrow.
So one of the major issues that going into this election, one of the major issues on the front burner is the issue of vote buying. And we've been getting reports that politicians have been doling out money when it comes to campaigns and all that. How true is that on ground?
Well, nobody can deny the issue of vote buying, and nobody can deny the issue of inducement of voters, because this is now the new way that politicians try to get voters to support their political parties. But it is a phenomenon that I think that that the media, the CSO, that all of us have to sensitize the people to actually discourage them. The level of poverty is so high. So, and when you give somebody that does not even end up to 10,000 naira a month, and you give him around 20,000 naira for a day, So that is one of the major issues that we're having. Of course, we expect the politicians to actually think out the money. Even Giaga came up with a report and said some of the political parties in the build-up to this election actually gave some of the voters, RAM for Salah. They gave them money, they gave them RAM just as a way of trying to buy them ahead of the election. So it is as a result of the poverty that we have in the land. That is why it is easier for politicians to give people 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, and be able to buy their conscience for 4 years, which I think it is not good enough.
We saw some of the reports from some of the papers today saying that households are stockpiling foodstuff because of the fear of a likely break of law and order. From your observations and movement around the communities, are there palpable fears that there may be a breakdown of law and order from what you have observed in the communities?
Yes, yeah, that fear is there. That fear is there because the state is high in Osun State. And from what we are gathering, people are afraid that there might be an outbreak of violence. But I want to believe that if our security operating will do their job, not the same way they did it in the Ekiti State, we should be able to have a peaceful election. What we saw in the Ekiti was the security operative dominating the entire area. Discouraging people from perpetrating acts of violence. Because for every junction, for every major street, you either see a military person, a police officer, a civil defense person. So even those political thugs, they were very conscious. They couldn't do anything that was untoward. And I expect the police to do the same thing here. They should be professional. The ITP said that they have deployed 21,000 policemen, which I think is enough to secure the state, the number of soldiers that we have on ground, with the number of troops that we have on ground. So I think that people should not be afraid. People should not be apprehensive. And I'm speaking from my experience in Ekiti State. People were also apprehensive, but on the day of the election, we saw our security men doing their job. So let us give them that benefit, that they will also do their job professionally by tomorrow. Of course, we have some flashpoints where we are expecting that there might be some little issue there, but I still want to give it to the security operative that they can do a good job if they want to be professional.
All right, now talking about the contest itself, we just heard you said there are like 15 political parties fielding candidates, even though the candidate of the PRP has actually decided to withdraw. And most of what we are hearing is just between the two major political parties, that's the APC and the PDP. Is there any chance, from what you have seen on ground, is there any chance of seeing any dark horse pulling up a surprise or giving them a run for their money during the election? Okay. All right. Well, we seem to have been disconnected from Abiodun there. So we'll try and reconnect and get more insight as to the Osun elections and, of course, which is holding tomorrow.